I've heard it a lot when people say, oh, my time costs a lot of money. Who values your time? It's whatever you'd lose in the shop if you were there. It's whatever you'd lose if you were being paid by someone to go and do a haircut or whatever. I think if you just are willing to cut back and work a bit harder, you don't always have to spend a lot of money on advertisement.
But the ones that I don't put any thought into and I just think, oh, I'm just going to put something up today because I need to, they're the ones that seem to take off. And for me, it's just consistency. If you're consistently posting 4 or 5 times a week, you're going to get the traction eventually.
I think if you trying to push too hard and tag loads of brands, I think sometimes that can backfire on you. Just be you and just keep putting your work out there. And if you're doing good work, it will come your way, yeah.
Hi, welcome to the Noble Barber podcast. I'm Anthony Laban, and we'll be talking to various people in the industry who've made it and their journey and how they got here. Talking honest, cutting through the crap and making sure your story and their story is heard to help your business and hopefully mine. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button, and I hope you enjoy this episode.
Hi there, welcome to an episode of the Noble Barber podcast. I'm Anthony Laban and I'm here today at Barber Connect on the Modern Barber stage. We are talking online entrepreneurship. We have Dan Gregory, Joth Davis and Sid Barber. I'm sure you've encountered all of them online. If you haven't, you should, or something's not working. I'm going to start with the kind of pros and cons of being in the digital marketplace, I guess, which maybe is very relevant for you as a product company, but maybe with training. But, you know, what are the positive impacts and the negative sides of the social media workplace?
I'll go first. First of all, I think we should start with the positive. I think the positive side of social media and being within the world of that, within the sort of the digital world, as you called it, it's positive because it introduces you to so many people and you can network yourself really, really well. It showcases your skills, it showcases you as the person you want to be. So, for example, if we're talking about haircuts, if I want to get load of long haircuts in, I do load of long haircuts and then I post about it, and then you attract whatever you put out. If you want to do loads of skin fades all day, post skin fades, you'll get loads of skin fade clients. So that you can use it as a positive to build your business and build your profile. Obviously, the negatives is that you can sometimes you can encounter maybe high expectations. I think sometimes that's the thing. Talking for personable, I feel like sometimes you can get a bit of a high expectation client come in because they've seen something you've done, and then obviously you don't deliver to that expectation. I'd say that's the real only downside for me, I would say, when in terms of my job. In terms of obviously the digital world of products, it's incredible because you can showcase what you do. You can film videos, you can film hairstyles, you can show exactly how much to use. And like back in the day when me and Joth started out, it was like having to come to the East to bring your products and try them out, whereas now you can scoop a little bit up, show it on a video, and that's how you can sell your product range, I guess. Yeah, I'd say that's from my side. What about you, John?
Sid, so I mean, was there a moment on your social media that you could see the impact? Was there a reel? Was there a post? Was there something that you went, actually, I'm getting something right here?
Yeah, so it's funny because anytime I'm trying to, I spend a week thinking about something I want to post, or I spend a lot of time on something, they're the ones that never seem to get any traction. But the ones that I don't put any thought into and I just think, oh, I'm just going to put something up today because I need to, they're the ones that seem to take off. And for me, it's just consistency. If you're consistently posting 4 or 5 times a week, you're going to get the traction eventually. So I think, so consistency for me is the main thing.
Cool. I've got a perfect one for you, Joe. I want an honest answer. So what's the biggest mistake you see barbers making online? You want the truth? Ask a Yorkshireman.
Posting for the sake of posting because they feel probably that likely have to. I mean, personally, I don't use social media in the way that I used to do when I first started the business and first started Instagram back in like 2011, I think it was, 2010, I think something when I first started using it. You know, back then when you had 1,000 followers and you sent a post, it went to 1,000 followers, and then obviously Mark Zuckerberg to come along and paid 400 million for it. And all of a sudden now you have 100,000 followers and it goes to less than 3%.
Yeah.
And And as time goes by, for me, as the business got busier and with the academy, and then also with the barbershop, and then with the product range and all these kind of things, trying to do all that and do the social media as well, I was having to pay somebody basically a full-time wage just to do that, because I just didn't have the time to do it. So for me, I kind of post when I have something to post now, when I have something to talk about, rather than for the sake of it.
Yeah.
But I do get it for the guys that are using that as their core business and driving business in and driving other things in there for them for an avenue. But for me, a lot of the sort of things that posted that went viral would just happen by sort of accident. And I think when you're doing it for the love of doing it rather than for the necessity of doing it, I think that's when things come more natural and brands start coming at you and throwing things at you. We had Dr. Martin sponsoring us for shoes, and we had Crombie throwing stuff at us, and Lee Jeans throwing all these kind of things that was in the really early days, because they weren't using social media then, because these old brands didn't realise the benefit of it, and were coming to the younger brands with big followings just to come off the back of it. So I would say do it for the love of doing it rather than for the sake of or feeling like you have to do it.
Yeah. Does everyone feel like that? Do you feel a little bit like you don't know what to post and you've got to? Is this resonating? You can nod, you can join in. This is you as well, people. This is Charlotte. I didn't introduce her. Charlotte is going to come round with the mic. Please, this is your time. Ask us some questions. This is what these guys are here for. Have we got any questions with us yet, Charlotte?
Hi guys. I wondered, how much did you clearly know or goal out or set out exactly what the message was that you wanted to be sharing with people before you took social media quite as seriously as you all have?
Oh, good question.
Yeah, that's
Did you get that?
question, So for me, if we're talking about the Regal Gentleman channel, the YouTube channel, I only ever went there with the impression that I was trying to show younger barbers starting out and hairdressers how to do the fundamentals in men's hair, and that's all I've ever done. I always knew that's what I wanted to do, and that's one of the biggest things that I feel like we've always stuck to. And I think that's the direction that you have to go in. Whatever you start off in, you can evolve. There's nothing wrong with evolution. But when you're evolving to look like the next person, and the next person, and the next person, you lose your own identity. So we've always stayed true to the fact that we never pay models. We never look out for people who might be good looking or have the best hair or the fade's the best on this colour hair or whatever. We get 5,000 to 10,000 applicants a month, and we just do roulette and we get them coming in. I don't know who they are. I still don't know who they are, even 6 years later, who have booked in. And we've always just stayed true to that. Like, it's weird when I get people on a train coming to ask me for a selfie who are an accountant, because I'm like, this was never aimed at you, mate. Like, this was aimed at like the younger guys starting out. And we've always just stayed true to that. Yeah, we've had partnerships along the way that have helped us fund particular sort of videos and whatnot, but we've never gone down the route of like hand-picking certain people unless it's hair loss or transformations. That's it. So that message is that we've always just stayed true to what the original idea was. And I feel like, yeah, it took a while to get there, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. You don't just have to be viral and famous online. It doesn't change it doesn't change your life, realistically. It might just make you get a few photos with someone. That's the reality, right? In my opinion, I think it's more about staying true to the core value of why you started doing it, and just accept that it'll take a long time.
Yeah, just touching on that as well, like, that's one of the things I struggled with when I first started social media, which was around lockdown, was finding my identity and finding what message I wanted to put out in the industry. And I think you just got to be yourself. I've tried doing so many different things and being funny or watching a tutorial or making something like that. And I think just be true to yourself, and I think it will just come. Just enjoy it. Don't make content if you're doing it just for the sake of putting content out there, you know?
What's the one strategy that you think you can utilise, make work, and not spend huge amounts of money? We seem to be really in an era of, certainly over the company point of view, spending money on Insta ads, Facebook ads, spending money. What's worked best without the outlay?
I think just being real, like echoing what Dan was saying. You know, we whenever we've done anything like, you know, photo shoots, videos, or something that's gone for social media or whatever channel that's got particularly gone on, real haircuts on real people, I think works better for our audience anyway. Yeah.
I think with Instagram, you've got, or social media, you've got two audiences. You've got your clients, and then you have the barbering industry. So I think depending on which audience you're trying to go for, like for barbering, I'd be collaborating with brands and other barbers. And then if you're trying to get a bigger clientele, I think kind of collaborating with local businesses like coffee shops, clothing shops, things like that, because then you're going to be bringing those clients from your local town into your shop, you know?
If I can just touch on that as well, the reality is everything costs money. Everything. If you're going to, besides the advertisements, besides all the paid partnership stuff, everything will cost you money. But you can go down the route of basically what Joth and Sid said is the collaborating, right? Doing the collaboration side of things. Finding a young videographer who's keen to come and film your content. I think the biggest thing you've got to give up is your time, and don't put too much money on your time. I think I've heard it a lot when people say, oh, my time costs a lot of money. Who values your time? Who puts the price point on your time? It's whatever you'd lose in the shop if you were there. It's whatever you'd lose if you were being paid by someone to go and do a haircut or whatever. I think if you just are willing to cut back and work a bit harder, you don't always have to spend a lot of money on advertising. Just be consistent.
You still need to make that personal investment
Yeah.
for the rewards later.
100%, yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
Oh, we have a Modern Barber winner from last night, so hopefully an award-winning question.
Hello everyone. So I'm a newcomer barber, yeah? I'm doing barbering for like 1.5 years. Can you tell me guys, let's say my Instagram, I don't have any followers, I just started the barbering, yeah? How should I do? What is my first steps to get recognition, to say? What should I tag? Who should I tag when I post my work? Because when I start to post, you know, because my haircuts was not the best. You can see on Instagram now, look at Josh Lamoneca, for example. I can't compare me with them,
we've got a great starting point of winning newcomer. So we have an award winner. Yes, well done. There you go. So we have that as a start point, but actually we've stuck with a bit of historic Instagram. How do we build up a following? How do we maximize this bit of news?
Again, it goes back to consistency, and I think make sure you're tagging everyone and everything that you're using. Tag your shop, the location, the cape company you're using, the clipper company, the scissor company, the company that you bought all the shit from. Do you know what I mean? Like, just tag absolutely everyone, and then add it as a story as well, and share it. So if those brands start sharing your work, you're going to start getting a bit more of a flow on your Instagram. So
You say you were looking for recognition for your work. What particularly do you mean by that? What are you aiming for? What's your aim? What's your goal?
I just want to push myself. I don't know what is the next steps. I just want to enjoy what I'm doing.
So then,
you know,
just don't try too hard. Just be you. You're obviously clearly good at what you do because you won the competition. Just keep putting your work out there, and it will come. Like Sid was saying, be consistent. Keep putting your work out there. I think if you're trying to push too hard and tag loads of brands, I think sometimes that can backfire on you. Just be you and just keep putting your work out there. And if you're doing good work, it will come your way, yeah.
Be really, really cheeky, right? Go to every celebrity that you love, right? Footballer, musician, and message them all. It's a numbers game. Message them. We did it recently with our brand. We messaged the whole Liverpool team. I said, come in, we'll give you some free product, give you a haircut. I got one of the number 2 goalkeeper, Quivine Kelleher, messaged back and said, oh, I'd love to. And that was just a numbers game. My wife was like, we sat there all night and we were literally just copy and pasting the same message. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in. And one of them will. So it's a numbers game. Just be really cheeky, be confident in yourself. Recognition, you don't need recognition. As long as you believe in yourself and you like what you're doing, you don't need me to say you're really good. You know you're good. You've won an award, for God's sake. Like, you should know you're good. Don't worry about recognition. Just be true to what you want to put out there. All right?
It's amazing how quickly every Liverpudlian puts Liverpool Football Club into every single podcast immediately. So, yes, champions.
no, but I was going to say, like, be aggressive with your marketing as well. Like, I've had people message me saying, please stop tagging me in your posts. And I will literally just like, I won't tag them again. Do you know what I mean? But when you are tagging brands, don't lie. Like, tag the brands you are using. Don't go and tag Wool, Andes, and Gamma in one post. They're all contradicting each other. Tag one company and stick to it. And then after 6 months of you tagging JRL, if they're not giving you anything back, then move on and go to another company.
So yeah, no. So I think that's the really interesting thing that starts is that it's having a reason for it. I think, Joth, you hit it bang on. It's if you're going to start a bit of a campaign, you kind of want to plan what your journey is. You know what I mean? You're kind of starting to walk without picking a map up first, and I think it's a really lovely point. That's given us a bit of time, Charlotte.
Hi. So just a question: how do you find the balance between being consistent and like overloading with posts and information? Because like obviously I'll post on my story like maybe every day, multiple times. But with the actual like Instagram posts, how much is too much? Because you don't want to be always in people's faces.
What's the difference between consistency with your posts and obsessiveness with your posts?
Yeah.
How do you know when you need to stop a little bit?
I think that's a better question for Sid because I don't post like that anymore. I post when I have something to post rather than feeling like I need to post every day.
Yeah.
If you have got something to post every day, that's great, even if you're doing something in the shop. But I'd also ask, for what reason are you posting for? Are you trying to bring in new clients? Are you trying to get brand work? What exactly is it you're trying to do?
I'm trying to get my clients to get to know me and other barbers to get to know me because people know that I've been in competitions, I'm a braider and a barber, but it's more just creating that slightly more influencer style.
What kind of things are you posting?
It'll just be my work, obviously events like this.
Do you post any like stuff like Dan's really good at, like the consultations and stuff like reels?
So like hair care information, aftercare, consultations before,
So
stuff
Sid,
like
when
that.
do we
Sounds
know
like
when
you're
to
doing the
say
right
no?
thing.
When
Yeah,
do
I
we know
know.
when to
Listen.
say no?
So I've definitely made that mistake and put way too much content out there. And I think like to the point where I've had to go back and delete stuff because I've gone back and thought, well, that's crap, or I've just put that up really quickly. So if I'm being totally honest, I just went on ChatGPT, got me a template. I post 4 times a week. I think I post 3 times in the week, once on the weekends. I put a story every week up, and I just kind of stick to that. But no more than 4 posts a week, I'd say. But everyone's different. Do you know what I mean? And it depends on your audience and what you're trying to achieve. Yeah. So I say don't do it too much. 4 times a week, I think, is enough. But make sure you're posting stories every day as well. And if I don't post something for a few days, I tend to get a bit more recognition from it. So.
I think it depends on the platform as well.
Yeah.
I think Instagram is probably a bit more like a personal side of thing in a way, where you can do your stories and, kind of stay in touch with people. Then you got TikTok, which is probably a bit more marketing, and then YouTube, which is a bit more informative. So I think it depends on which platform you want to choose. I would say if you're doing something on YouTube, you want to create momentum, and you want people to look forward to it. So we'll do it every Sunday at 6 p.m. because you want people to look forward to it, right? And you get people commenting going, I can't wait for Sundays at 6 p.m., right? Instagram stories whenever you feel like it, but if you're going to post a bit like what Sid was saying, like, to keep it consistent, we try and do 1 a week. We do 2 reels and a post, and that seems to work for us. And TikTok can be as often as you want. I don't think the algorithm works the same way in TikTok, as far as I know. But yeah, I try and just do things that are consistent, like days. Be consistent on days, maybe Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then you can do your stories every day and then do it that way. But it's whatever works for you and your time. A lot of it, yeah.
I mean, I think interestingly, from what you're saying, it would be, how much of you, I think the integrity and the honesty of who you are, and a bit of, learning your own filter. You know what I mean? Would I look at this? No, I won't post it, I guess, to some degree.
Sorry, guys, me again. A little bit of clarity on the overwhelm of that I feel sometimes about how many platforms to be on.
Good question.
Because I've cruised them all over the years and put various amounts of effort into them, and they all do have a very different audience. But making that decision and how many of them do we commit to, and because I get the consistency of each platform, and what you're saying is amazing. But then, are we doing that on 4 platforms or 1?
Well, you can almost use. So, if you think about our videos, our YouTube videos, right? They run for about 30 to 40 minutes. Some are a little bit less. We've found that it's usually between 26 minutes and 32 minutes is the one that keeps people involved, right? Because long format video nowadays, the attention spans aren't always there, right? Now, if you do a short, so I'll give you an example, right? We posted 4 videos across the month. and we gained 5,000 subscribers. We did one short and gained 20,000 subscribers in a week. That short went on to TikTok and Instagram. So you don't have to edit a lot, right? It's just, again, it goes back to time. Set yourself, maybe if you're a very busy person, right? You've got to try and manage your time right. And I think that's the biggest thing, is managing your diary to fit around your content. Because whether we like it or not, our job is social media nowadays. It is, right? And we do our day-to-day work. We cut for 8 hours a day. Then we've got how much time off afterwards. Use a little bit of that time to edit your videos properly. And then once you've edited it to like 3 or 4 minutes, that can go on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Short, all within the same hour, right? So the main time you've got is the editing and then the posting. And then, use ChatGPT if you want an influencer style caption. No drama. Use that. That'll bring you on up if you're short on time. But you've got to be on all platforms, mate. You have to be on all platforms. Because if you look around at all the guys that you know and all the faces that you see, they're on all platforms. And you have to do it. But it doesn't mean you have to single out which platform you go on with your content. Your content can go on all platforms. It just,
excellent.
It depends on the timings. So, yeah, reality is, mate, find your time, throw them all on there if you can.
Great. Thanks, Dan. I think that answers that. Where are we, Charlotte?
Obviously, you guys being like who people look up to as well. You could post something and then you probably see like it looks like barbers post a lot of the same thing, because you could post something and we kind of like follow trend. So personally, like each of you, what content do you guys like to watch, and what would you like to see more of, or what barbers do?
What barbers do you guys look at, follow, and be impressed by? That's a really good question. I like that.
I flick through as many as I possibly can, because there's always somebody new doing something different. But I love what Dan does, because I love how kind of real that is, in terms of, because that's great from a barber of myself for 8 years and watching what Dan does and that resonating with me. Cheers. But I also think that's good, like from a young barber's point of view, and watching that and watching somebody new doing something completely different. So I don't have anybody really specific, but then I'm probably not on social media as much as these guys are, because I'm running a business and doing everything else. I simply just don't have the time. Yeah.
You've changed your style a few times, and you've admitted to me that you've been influenced by different people.
I just post what I want to post, and as long as it's like to me, but like I try not to. Obviously, I follow a lot of UK barbers, right? But I try not to copy what they're doing. So, for example, I posted something the other day, which was. So I look to the American audience. So I follow a lot of American barbers, a lot of Australian barbers. So a lot of you guys won't be following them. So I know that if I see something that one of those has posted, and I think it's good, I know that none of you lot have probably seen it either. So I'll then go and replicate that. For an example, Tanya the barber is one of the barbers I follow on Instagram. She's from California. I think she's unbelievable. And I replicate a lot of her work. So if you literally go and check her out, you'll see we're quite similar. But you lot wouldn't know, because you wouldn't see it, do you know what I mean? So rather than trying to copy Josh LaMonica and Josh OP, I try and go further afield and find people that most people haven't heard of around here, you know?
I mean, besides the most popular people that you see online, I'm not directly influenced by the hairdressing and the barbering world, if that makes sense. I watch a lot of stuff like chefs and musicians and things like that. They're the things that I look at, because without being negative, I don't feel there's a lot of difference with the content nowadays. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that at anyone in particular. I feel like the content I see on my For You page is the same. It's the same angles, it's the same light, and it's the same hair, right? So I look at people who are like hairdressers and chefs and watch the angles that they do it at. And if you look at a chef, the best thing you can do, right, watch a chef, because it goes the camera to his face or her face, whoever is talking, then down to what they're doing. More than it just being constantly a music in the background and a haircut. So you're getting to know them, you're getting to know why they're doing it, and then you're seeing what they're doing. And that's where my content is probably where I'm probably most inspired by, because we can all do the same kind of content, but we get lost in this sort of atmosphere of meta. So, and it's not like a dig at the content. I'm just bored of seeing the same content.
Yeah, no, I think that's
Do you get what I mean?
think a lot of people are trying to find something to make them stand out and seem different.
I don't know if that
Maybe
helped your
following
question,
other
like,
things.
but I think that what we're all trying to say is that I think we're all inspired by people. And again, you know, the Menspire guys, Cal Newsom, Sam Rascals, we're all inspired by it. It's quality to watch, amazing content. But when I look at my content to try and be different is I look at other industries, is what I was trying to get at, yeah.
My name is Adnan, and I have a barber shop, but really busy in the barber shop as a physically. So I want to maintain my social media page. I should do myself, or should I hire a team and they maintain for my social media stuff? Is to give my shop page to somebody?
The question was like, so you're a very busy barbershop and you haven't really got time to make content. You get to the end of the week and you want to make content. Or should you go to a professional or?
So, Joth, you had someone that you hired in, didn't you?
I mean, I think you've got to plan it. I mean, like, when you go back to the shop this week, don't make no content. Just get loads of videos, get loads of pictures throughout the week. And then when it gets to Sunday evening, then go make 5 or 6 posts. And then have that. On my phone right now, I have my next 5 or 6 posts for this week. And I do that because I can keep going back to it. And after a week, if I don't like the post, it's probably not going to be good for Instagram as well. So, or TikTok or whatever. So I have a week's worth of content ahead. And then I never feel like I'm drowning in what I need to, making content or anything. So just plan it. Have a week ahead.
Same, really. Organisation. Be organised with what you want to do. So if you try and film as much as you can, if your clients let you, you could always just film as much content as you want, even just the finished look or a before and after or whatever, and then just organise yourself a bit like what we were saying before. It's about your time, trying to organise your time, because we're all really. I mean, everyone sitting here is busy. We're all cutting hair all the time. But why am I more popular than, say, the next guy over there? It's just because you just organise yourself as best you can. Set yourself a day. So there's 7 days in a week, you work 5 of them. What are you doing the other 2 days? How many times have you sat there on the couch for 3 hours not doing anything? You could be doing something. You know what I mean? If you really want to be successful, you'll put as much time and energy as possible into it. And I think if you look back through your week and you look at how much time you wasted, you'd be surprised how much content you can get out of it.
Cool. That's it. Well, guys, thank you. I think that's brought us to a very nice natural end. Thank you, Sid. Thanks, Dan, and thank you, Joth, for dropping some gems. The interesting thing I think I've heard all this weekend about social media is it's the marketplace for you to sell you. And I think the mistakes come when you start selling somebody else. You've got to you're seen as fake very quickly. So decide who you are, decide on your brand and stick to it. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like the Noble Barber podcast. And I think we're done. That's fantastic. Thank you very much for your time. We've been the Noble Barber podcast. Thank you.
Welcome to the Noble Barber podcast. We're always looking for interesting people and interesting stories. If you know someone or you are someone with a great story that you want to share, get in touch and come and join me on the sofa. Thanks very much for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the episode and we'll see you next time.